It's your boy Alex, and welcome back to the Brave Lionheart channel, and we are back again with another reaction video. And today is another special request reaction video for you guys, mostly for someone very special because it is today someone's birthday today, mostly. More specifically, one of the most funniest comedic actors of film history. And that, of course, is the one and only Jim Carrey, everybody. Yes, today is his birthday, and it was actually told by one of you guys. You told me that it was his birthday today, and you also asked for a special request. This was also a special request given out to by Infinity Studios. They wanted me to do a specific Nostalgia Critic reaction video that he came out with. And it happens to be on a Jim Carrey movie, where he's a green character. No, not the Grinch, but of course, one of his best characters, The Mask. And no, it is not a Nostalgia Critics review on Son of the Mask, because I will never sit through that movie again. Never! But anyway, yeah. It is on The Mask, and it happens to be one of my all-time favorite Jim Carrey movies. It's so quotable, it's fun, it's zany, and it basically kind of brings the whole cartoon world to life. Until years later, we had Space Jam, Cool World, Roger Rabbit, stuff like that. But more specifically, yeah. So, hopefully, this video is going out to Jim Carrey and to all you guys for being so awesome. So, let's not waste any time and just jump right into the video, shall we? We got the video set up, and it kind of started out with the sponsorship, and of course when he talked about what cons he was going to during that time. Yeah, it was when he uploaded this, so not any cons particularly this year, but would be awesome if he went to some that were near where I lived. Would be awesome. But anyway, we're not going to waste any time and just jump right in, because I already did the special intro. So, without further ado, let's take a look at Nostalgia Critics' review of The Mask. So, start the video in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. And hopefully, again, this is one of those, like, movies he really, really loves. So, yeah, this actually could be interesting. I don't know how interesting it could go, but, you know, we'll see if it gets funny. So, we're just gonna start it off. Oh, yeah. And it's funny, it's just like every year he comes up with a new way to remake his intro, which is just awesome. Nice.
I disagree.
I think I'm wearing her down.
Correct.
What?
That's what you are, Ipkiss. A big...
Did you back in the laboratory to get your bolts tightened? I should have said that.
Correct.
Critic, what's the point of this?
The point is to win, and you're doing terrible.
I have no interest in showing off how well I know the mask.
And that's why you're losing. Continue, Tamara.
Our...
Love is like a red rose, and I am a little thorny.
Correct.
Shoot the door. Shoot the door. Shoot the window. I don't care.
Correct.
Please.
I'm sorry, are they doing a Jim Carrey mask trivia game? Because if they are, that is hilarious. That is definitely a great way to start off this video for a review. Well played, Doug, if that's what you were going for. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I feel like I could win it too, because, again, the movie is so quotable.
Go through every single line.
Don't worry, I ate my words when I said this game sounds like fun.
Screw it. I'm going to make myself a sandwich.
I wouldn't do that, Malcolm. I really wouldn't.
And what the hell are you gonna do?
Malcolm, don't tempt him!
You're
Uh-oh.
gonna regret it, buddy.
I'm making myself a sandwich.
What's he gonna do?
Don't be a fool, Malcolm!
I don't think you can do a thing.
Well, then go ahead. Go and make yourself a sandwich.
Okay, alright.
Okay, I did this to show I really was obsessed with the mask growing up.
And yeah, we all were obsessed with the movie at one point, dude.
I know I'm not the only one. Centered around an odd plasticine cartoon character who puts on a mask. This film was the first time state-of-the-art CG effects were used to blend real life and cartoons as opposed to make dinosaurs or aliens come to life. When the trailer came out, people, particularly kids, were so excited that someone finally got the idea to use this technology.
I'm roadkill!
And of course, this wacky take on technology is used everywhere today, even in commercials. It also helped that they got
Oh yeah, I did remember those commercials.
the first appearance of Cameron Diaz as well. Years later, people still look at this film as a fun, wild, nostalgic throwback.
Before the dark times.
Oh yeah, the dark times of sequels.
This movie, even back then, I still knew it wasn't great. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to pan this film at all. If anything, I'm curious why so much of it still works today, when, honestly, a lot of it shouldn't. There's a ton of awkward moments, weird lines, and standard 90s cliches that were pretty formulaic even back then. Yet something about it is still charming.
Put some effort into it!
And weirdly well.
Like I said, this movie is so
I want to
quotable.
make it clear that even though I adore this movie, I still wanted to look at objectively, for both its pros and cons. So, now that I think I made my point clear,
Hey, Critic, want some of these gooey, messy sandwiches?
Oh.
why yes, that sounds lovely. Let me have it.
Oh, wow.
Let's take a look at The Mask. I guess I should point out, seeing how I did a whole video on it, that the film is
Oh, yeah, I remember when he talked about that.
and incredibly mean-spirited. It was fucking
Yikes.
great. That's what the director Charles Russell, who brought more comedy to the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, resulting in a big hit. New Line was hoping for The Mask to be the next Freddy Krueger, but as Russell pointed out, we already had a Freddy Krueger. So he pushed to do something lighter, but still relatively new. In fact, for better or worse, this is one of the perfect examples of transitioning from the aggressive R-rated 80s to the lighthearted PG-13 centered 90s. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to see the comic on the big screen.
Honestly, I would have loved to seen that too. Oh, yeah.
So I did something more zany and relaxed. With that said, we open with credits rolling over Edge City, which I'm pretty sure is the city from Babe 2, whereas a diver stumbles across Jumanji but is accidentally taken out, unlocking an ancient...
Well, of course, there we have our first death for a gory mask movie.
Voiced by Jim Carrey, who got concert tickets for his would-be girlfriend, but she complained she wanted to take her friend with her instead of him.
Why don't you just go with your friend?
I couldn't do that.
No, come on.
Boy, do I smell chicken, because...
I had to answer a message, but you know, that's actually not a bad idea. I honestly would love to see someone, like, make a fan film of, like, the Big Head Killer Mask comics. Like, hey, Death Battle technically did it, though they kind of made it a mix of the animated series mask more than the Jim Carrey mask mixed with the Big Head Killer, which was still awesome. But hey, as fans, we kind of have the technology to make fan films like that. I doubt we would ever get a fan film of it made, but if someone made it, that would be awesome to see. Honestly, I would love to see that and talk about it if that happened. That would be really cool. But, yeah, anyway, we're just going to move on and get back into the video.
I've ever seen. I disagree. I think I'm wearing her down.
Jim Carrey really is the perfect actor to play this role. Not because of his over-the-top flexibility as the Mask, though that is certainly...
And he's just got that kind of comedic energy to work well with makeup and other stuff.
I think would play this role too boring to contrast the other personality. Carrey himself said he didn't want people fidgeting in their seats saying, just get to the mask already. And I still stand by, this is my favorite performance of his, as when he does other roles, it still feels like a performance. A good performance, but still a performance. This just...
Still a good performance, though.
Jim Carrey probably was. A nice, but awkward people pleaser who's very expressive with his face. I also like that he doesn't hold back too much. He's still a little over the top, but in a way you feel like he would be in real life. Especially given his obsession with cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
If Ipkiss didn't work, the movie wouldn't work. This is fortunate as he and his comic relief Charlie almost impressively have no chemistry together.
Hold the phone. Killer at 3 o'clock.
I think just because this guy Charlie was just added in as his, like, comedic sidekick or just his best friend that no one likes to talk about.
Deep into the darkest heart of the urban jungle.
Tell me more, Buana.
They're not awful. They're not even so bad. They're funny. They just...
Oh, yeah. Cameron Diaz. Oh, that's creep factor right there.
That aged great. Thankfully, the chemistry isn't focused on them.
Yeah, this was before Charlie's Angels Cameron Diaz.
Plays Tina, a charming
So,
singer who
yeah.
open an account when really she's a friend for a mob boss.
What does Nico have to say about all this?
Things change. First we take the bank, then we take Nico, and then my friend's school is out.
Oh yeah, this guy.
They put on heat. Peter Green plays a gangster named Dorian.
But I think at some point he did not know that he was supposed to be playing a goofy mafia boss in a comedy movie, so he just went all out with the mafia stuff and the aggressiveness.
Maybe he didn't. Who knows, right?
While a part of me does wish he was funnier, it does help offset the goofier moments and give a few more surprises about what's around every corner. Is a scene with a gun going to be funny or suspenseful? It helps mix things up. Speaking of which, Stanley's repair shop lies about his car being ready, so they give him Fosse Studebaker to go to Dorian's work with his friends. He gets separated from them, though, and doesn't mix well with security, causing Dorian to say lose him twice.
No, but my friends are on the inside.
Lose him.
Hey, come on now, guys.
He's been talking.
That's what happens to every hopeless loser that turns into a superhero. That was the original story in the comic version of the Big Head Killer, aka The Mask, and then he wanted to kill people. Sorry, I know I'm bringing that up again, but you just had to bring that up because, again, would love to see that as a fan film if that was brought to life, and technically it almost was with a PC version of the comic. It was just the whole comic, but it was dubbed over with voices. But, yeah. Anyway, we're just going to move on from that and continue on, because at this point, Stanley's going to get the powers and the mask.
Mr. Kiss.
Did you get my splash? I slipped the driver a 20 to do that.
Humiliated at the club, his car breaks down at a bridge where he stumbles across the ancient mask.
Wait, did they...
Sees quite the cartoon.
Oh, he didn't show the really funny line from this movie. It's when he picks up the mask, the cops show up and they're like, "What are you doing down there?" I'm just looking for my mask. I got it. It's one of my favorite lines from this movie, and this one too, where he's holding the mask in the mirror being like, "That's correct, Wendy. We all wear masks, metaphorically speaking." Yeah, he's got that bottom lid going. Like I said, this movie is just so quotable, and I love it. It's hilarious, and just so funny and quotable. But yeah.
Explain his expressive faces, but they're given a massive makeover when he puts on
Here we go.
Transforms into the villain from the Care Bears movie.
Smokin'!
So fun fact, Carrey apparently improvised that line as the original was snazzy.
Eh?
Snazzy. I can't even finish. You know what This is also where we get the intro of the photorealistic cartoon effects, which not only hold up pretty well, all things considered, but Carrey's performance does truly embrace them. This was new territory for effects like this, and he has no idea if they're gonna look good or not. But his acting never shows.
The face and noise that he makes.
His eyes are popping out in a scene. He does his damnedest to act like his eyes are popping out in a scene.
Then there was that also.
These scenes have the official Tommy Lee Jones seal of buffoonery he cannot sanction.
Get right up here! Don't be shy!
Some of these moments are taken directly.
Move it!
Like the balloon animal scene where he makes a Tommy gun, and the revenge he takes on the car mechanics. But instead of having cute little visual jokes on top of the punchline, they just die.
Yeah, they're just dead.
The show came from this.
I forgot about that with the cartoon series.
And a reporter named Peggy, played by Amy Yasbeck.
May I be of some assistance?
Stanley, if you...
And it's funny because it's like, that's 3 love interests for Stanley in this entire movie.
It seemed like he's gonna go jerk off in the corner. While interviewing him about the repair shop incident, Peggy discovers that Stanley wrote a letter to her that got published about nice guys finishing last.
You really think hundreds of women are looking for a guy like me?
Sure, I'm one of them.
The film does a real good job making you think Peggy is going to be the wholesome woman Stanley goes with, and Tina is going to be the bad girl that ultimately betrays him. Right down to one's a reporter and one's with
Yeah, the twist was also kind of out of left field for the reporter Peggy.
But the movie has to remind you, oh yeah, it's a bizarre crime drama too.
The cops tried to shut the club down this morning.
Yeah. This still was a very awkward scene, but good shot though.
At a rope with a tennis ball hitting his testicles, and this would totally be a James Bond torture.
No.
Dreams about how his encounter with Tina might have gone if he was more confident.
Yeah, that still was awkward.
You're gonna take your leading man's head, turn it to the side.
It must have been really awkward to film for Miss Diaz.
You sure this wasn't a Weinstein production? This gives him the urge to put on the mask again, but he needs money, so he drops by the bank Dorian's men were robbing that night.
Where's not what not?
They have a look like, oh, it's that kind of movie. I thought this was a sequel to Donnie Brasco. He shows up to the club to hear Tina sing, gives one of the few effects that doesn't hold up that great.
Yeah, I will have to agree.
Almost all-star sick of, but not quite.
Honestly, this is the best music in the entire movie.
To say the soundtrack is fucking great.
Oh yeah, totally. The soundtrack to this movie is great.
The song is really fantastic in this. The director said he wanted the city to really come to life at night, as the mask could only come to life at night. So he wanted it to be a very nightclub-centered world. And the music definitely helps that. Combining a strange mix of lounge, swing, and R&B, they surprisingly really go together and help already entertaining scenes explode with even more energy. I mean, every song in this is hummable as hell.
Yeah, real great music. It encompasses the 90s, or like the late 2000s almost, a lot.
I was afraid wouldn't hold up as well as when I first saw them, but for whatever reason...
Tell Tiny Tim I will be coming home this Christmas.
Cracks me the hell up.
Tell Tiny Tim I won't be coming home this Christmas.
Can't even explain why. Maybe because this guy is supposed to look sad that he's dead,
Aww.
while Carrey is aggressively manhandling him during his supposed final moments.
Pardon me.
Well, that's...
Oh, yeah.
Two of my favorite little add-ons are in this joke. One is Dorian, straightening his hair when he discovers he's suddenly being watched. And the other is Carrey exiting...
He just has no idea what's going on.
Award shows.
Hey, Calloway.
Better call that high-priced lawyer of yours, Terrell. You and I are going downtown for a little chat.
We just threatened people with guns and fired him in public. He got nothing on us. Once it's revealed that the mask robbed the bank, Dorian is set loose and puts out a hit on the Green Menace.
50 grand to the man who finds that green-faced son of a bitch before the cops do. I want you to get the word out to every street hustler, to every lowlife in this town.
I want you to hit up every 90s gangster in black suits driving black cars using this voice.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's official. Dorian Gray makes every other mafia boss look bad. Especially the Godfather. I can just imagine him sitting in his office being like, yeah, this Dorian Gray guy is giving us a bad name. I want you to find him and ice him, or I'm gonna make him an offer you can't refuse. Same to all of you. I'm sorry, that was a bad Marlon Brando impression. I apologize for that. But yeah, I could imagine that now that he's doing that.
Tina visits Stanley to see if he knows anything about the mask, seeing how it was his bank that he robbed.
Anyone find out who he is?
Why are you interested?
Thanks for everything, Stanley.
You'd like to see him again, wouldn't you?
Anyone else get a serial killer vibe from that look?
You'd like to see him again, wouldn't you?
He'd like to see you too.
No! Don't you put that evil on me, Doug Walker! Don't you put that on me!
Played by Ben Stein, who connects it back to the ancient trickster, Loki.
Possibly a representation of one of the Norse night gods. Maybe Loki.
Who's Loki?
Loki is bank.
And he is a ladies' man, people. A ladies' man.
And I legit love that nobody figures out because Loki is a night god, it would only work at night. So this reaction is always a surprise. And
Oh, yeah.
This is why I don't believe in evolution.
You have the pickle relish?
Doyle, get in the car.
But I ordered onion rings.
Doyle!
Doyle!
Now, this is the very sudden beginning of Calloway and his assistant Doyle doing the smart cop, dumb cop routine. At first, Doyle is just a normal guy. He talks with Calloway like anyone else would.
Well, we got some fingerprints on some of the currency, but nothing matches Terrell's men. Looks like this guy beat him to the punch.
But halfway through, they spontaneously make him a dumbass, always getting on Calloway's nerves. It's completely out of nowhere.
Doyle! Doyle! Shut up and help me down! Alright. Start dancing, I'll blow your brains out.
Wow, you're a real hero.
Doyle! It'd be like if Timon and Pumbaa halfway through Lion King changed gears and...
Oh, don't do that. No!
Feel, but kind of funny, too.
Stanley.
Stanley meets Tina at Landfill Park. The city is so close to having
Yeah,
a strong identity.
Choice of a name
She
for
listens
a
to the
park.
mask, much to her delight, confusion, fear. It's a little hard to get a read on her in these scenes.
Ooh.
Police!
The cops try to arrest him, but he outsmarts them, only to be cornered by a SWAT team. This leads to, let's face it, what you
Yeah, one of the best moments in this movie. And one of the best songs, too.
Cuban Pete is one of the catchiest earworms in a soundtrack that already has a lot of earworms. I have to admit, though, when I think of pure, silly joy...
And the fact that it's just one big, long dance number.
It is the most upbeat...
Sadly, Son of the Mask did that, and it was worse.
I feel like if this was done today, they'd do some sort of modern pop song. I really give credit that they stuck with something more traditionally zany. This cop in particular does a really amazing job.
Yeah! And she just gets into it after realizing that she's being possessed. Very awkward thing for a cop to do, but hey, she got possessed by Jim Carrey.
Totally possessed by the mask's powers. All within the span of just 5 seconds. As well as while a Surf Ninja poster is staring her in the face. I don't know, even if I saw this all
I have never noticed that.
What the hell is
that? Is so weird.
Oh, and she can dance. For not even having a minute of screen time, that cop leaves quite...
Yeah.
Stanley finds a corner and takes the mask off. I never understood why.
Again, probably to hide his identity quickly. Or, you know, something like that.
Up to Peggy, who at first seemed sympathetic, but as mentioned, she was working for Dorian.
What are you doing?
You really are a great guy. I just can't lose my condo.
If it makes you feel any better, Stanley, I don't think sex with her would have worked out anyway.
Is this him?
Don't mess with me. I got my sideways gunman with me, bro. This is where the movie gets a little dumb. If you're like,
yeah, I will have to agree with that. It's a little awkward, too.
Would it make him wild and zany, or would it turn him into some sort of out-there monster, like in the later comics? Well, it...
just turns him into that.
Forward a few feet, and just makes him bigger and meaner.
What a rush.
You okay?
Better than ever, you idiots.
Dorian with the mask feels like one of the lesser villains from Captain Planet. He says very generic villain lines, does very generic villain stuff.
This is your big production number. Just wait. I will be your host for the remainder of the evening.
Even the design is kind of lame. He kind of looks like a green version of that Terminator toy when the hair stayed on. You know, he does look better than every movie version of the Green Goblin.
Oh, wow.
I should point out, there was a deleted scene that showed Peggy dying, and yeah, it was deleted with good reason.
It might have been a little too over the top, I guess.
The guy who did Nightmare 3, you don't say.
Oh!
Drops him off to the cops who put him in jail because, yeah, he does technically belong there. But he's visited by Tina.
Hey, you, with the face.
Before he was a household name, that's how Jim Carrey was referred to. They talk about the power of the mask, what Dorian could do with it, and the special, if not strange, relationship they have together.
Thanks.
For what?
For being the only guy who treated me like a person and not some sort of party favor.
Yes, he really loved you for your personality. Okay, to her credit, I think she was talking about him when he wasn't wearing the mask. But that doesn't mean she has to follow all the way through with a kiss.
I've got to disappear for a while now, Stanley.
Wow! Another ad popped up, but we are actually almost pretty much done with this entire review and this entire movie. Sad. Though, again, definitely enjoying this, having fun watching this review. So, let's just try and finish it up as best we can, because we're going into the climactic third act, and it happens to be at the club where we get more quotable stuff.
I needed someone to tell me how stupid my suit was.
You playing a little trip without me, baby? No?
Again, dude, tone down the aggression!
Peter Green is like, what? I read the comic. Oh, we forgot to have that talk. Yes, that's the kind of movie we're making.
But it's not.
I'm not telling him that. He'll kill me. Stanley uses his dog Milo to get the keys from the cops.
There you go.
Say, as animal actors go, Milo is one of the...
It's a very good dog actor.
This dog
super adorable, too.
Personality and is so ridiculously well trained.
Put the keys down. And get the keys.
Oh, well, that popped up.
If there was like an
There we
animal Oscars, he would totally get an award that year.
Hold it!
Stanley gets out, taking Calloway with him. It may be one of the best Doyle reactions in the movie. Come on! Well, that invites no follow-ups, as Dorian gets revenge on his boss and plans to blow up the nightclub.
Blow it! I was talking to her, but that works too.
Again, not even sure how that worked, but okay.
But Tina has a plan of her own.
There's no time for last requests.
But all I wanted was a kiss.
A kiss.
Ugh.
Masked Dorian's thirst face?
Nobody ever kissed me like Dorian, Tyrell.
You know, I saw this in every Saturday morning show ever made, but I doubt it'll end the same way those did. Oh, crap! Milo gets the mask and puts it on.
And he turns into that goes on to the second movie.
Actually, such a good actor, no CG was used in the filming of these scenes. Stanley gets the mask back on, resulting in a weird jump cut that always...
Did you miss me?
Oh, Christ, I've seen this.
I guess not!
And he uses his power to get rid of the bomb and Dorian as well. Time to know what face to have for a scene. He has a look like you took the last French cruller, and I am not gonna let you forget about it. He turns back into himself and seems to be off the hook as everyone except Calloway thinks Dorian was the mask all along.
I want to see you in my office first thing tomorrow morning.
Yes, Your Honor. Boy, that doesn't sound good at all.
Oh, it doesn't sound good.
What would sound good to you?
Breakfast. Shut up!
That was a really weird, fast edit there for a second.
Was found and decide to get rid of it for good.
You sure you know what you're doing, buddy?
I'm sure.
It's time to give Jamie Kennedy a chance to ruin his career.
No, please don't.
The mask is tossed over, but not before Charlie goes diving in after it.
Snazzy!
Yeah, that still would have sounded awful. And that was The Mask. By no means perfect, but the parts that worked are insanely likable.
Okay.
A lot of
All
those
right.
around Jim Carrey, both as The Mask, but especially Stanley Ipkiss. He gives an energized yet unique spin on the lovable loser that I feel actors have borrowed from since this film came out. But on top of that, the effects mostly hold up, it's colorful, has a great soundtrack. At times can be awkward, but I feel like that can slide because the film is so focused on giving you a good time. It's a corny, old-fashioned good time, but a good time nonetheless. So whether you obsessed over it like I did when you were a kid, maybe hated it as an adult, or were just indifferent to it, there's definitely stuff about it that's a little clunky, but a lot more that holds real merit. It's never too late to go back and give yourself another smoking good time.
Oh yeah? If you're such a super fan of the movie, what friend of Jim Carrey was also considered for the role?
What is it?
Who exactly?
No one would be better for the part.
Oh? Not even Nicolas Cage?
No! No! Really? What was that?
Yeah, nobody can operate properly.
You broke Doug, Malcolm, and Tamara. You broke him!
You brought it up. How come we're not traumatized?
Alright, there you have it, guys. That was my reaction to Nostalgia Critic's review of The Mask, and that definitely was a weird way to end it off. Just that. I actually do wonder if Nicolas Cage was approached to play The Mask in the movie. Then again, we would have gotten way too many over-the-top moments with Nicolas Cage as The Mask. Now, just imagining him doing all the Mask lines in the Nicolas Cage voice. Like, hello, Sherry. We meet again. Yeah. Smoking, yeah. Is it gonna smoking? Okay, again, I can't do good impressions of either. Well, I can't do a Nicolas Cage impression because that was pretty bad. That was more Doug Walker's impression of Nicolas Cage. But anyway, yeah. Again, this goes out to Jim Carrey. Happy birthday to him. Hope he lives a long and amazing life. I mean, we are getting him for Sonic 2, so that's amazing. And I hope he just lives on to do more comedic films and just be an amazing actor. Yeah. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video too. Anyways, with that being said, thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell to never miss a new video. With that being said, I will see all you awesome guys and gals later. Bye-bye!